Catalyst Wrestling, it is I, Dave Lee, and I'm here with Ghost Shadow. Now, last time you were here in Catalyst, you never lost your Freestyle Championship to one Carter Mason. And after that bout, he even put his hands on me. So me and you, we're standing on similar locations, but I have to ask, where are you going into tonight's bout with O'Shea Edwards?
I'm centered. I'm fine. Listen, you won the Freestyle Championship, Carter. Literally, I dislocated my arm beating the shit out you. I'm gonna see you soon. But, I got some new plans for tonight. I got the world champ tonight. Ask me some questions about it.
Well, O'Shea Edwards, the Catalyst champion, is a tall order considering he is the Big Bad Kaiju. But he isn't a Ghost Shadow now, is he?
No, he's not.
So what is your plan to take down your larger opponent?
Same as always, destruction. O'Shea, don't think that I'm injured, that I'm slipping in any shape or form. I got you tonight. Freestyle title, I'll come back. And I'll reign again. Sometimes you need space to breathe. But the world title, yeah, that sounds good. Got my bro, Nikolai White, we in Harlem. And I'm taking that title tonight.
Oh, but I do have to ask, now, your usual crew is not with you tonight, so where are they?
Lex is hurt. Jay's sick. Must be in the stars or something. Listen, things happen. Don't worry about it. Center. Ghost Shadow got it tonight. Woo!
This is the longest reigning Catalyst Wrestling Freestyle Champion in history. This is the Destroyer God. This is Ghost Shadow!
Ghost Shadow here making his triumphant return to Catalyst after suffering an injury and the loss of his Freestyle Championship. We're just glad to see him back. Stephen James and Brandon Liu on the call tonight.
And making his way to the ring, he is your Catalyst Wrestling Champion. He is the Big Bad Kaiju. This is O'Shea Edwards.
The big man is in town tonight as the Catalyst Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. The Big Bad Kaiju making his way on the scene. And this is a fight that we've wanted to see for a very long time. At this level, Ghost Shadow, the most dominant champion in the freestyle division, only losing his championship because of an injury in controversial fashion. Now stepping up to the plate, ready for the next level. And what better way to say you're ready for the next level than to step up against the biggest, the baddest that Catalyst Wrestling has to offer. 6'3", 235 pounds.
It is unbelievable that these two have not crossed paths before. And while we've seen the Big Bad Kaiju make his way to the Catalyst Championship, Ghost Shadow was carving his own legacy as the Freestyle Champion, the longest reigning champion in all of Catalyst Wrestling. So now we have these two men for the top prize here in Catalyst Wrestling. Only one man can be victorious. Only one man can claim to be the best.
As we see on the outside, Nikolai White accompanying Ghost Shadow for this championship match. That's the thing. Folks behind, they believe in Ghost Shadow like they believe in O'Shea Edwards. They both have pedigree. They both have a resume here that says champion on it.
Ghost Shadow tried a little bit of intimidation tactics at the start of this, throwing his bandana. The Kaiju, O'Shea Edwards, not someone who's scared of much, if anything. Just sneezed, blew his nose.
The only thing I think he's scared of is seeing himself in the mirror. That would spook me. It's a menacing man.
It's probably a little easier to look at yourself in the mirror when you're carrying the Catalyst Gold. Edwards, one shot, That's all it takes. I'm not sure if Ghost Shadow has felt the hands of a man quite like O'Shea Edwards. Those massive mitts.
And now Nikolai White on the outside, giving some advice to Ghost Shadow. Ooh, thunderous right hand to the rib cage of Ghost Shadow.
You know what's wild? I don't even see Edwards like reaching for this full extension with those short fists that he was delivering right there.
It's like a pistol.
Yeah.
You see the heavily taped and wrapped elbow of Ghost Shadow. You gotta wonder, is he 100% coming into this matchup? That's not an excuse he would ever give. But we should keep an eye on that, because a champion like O'Shea Edwards, will he go to that in order to seek an advantage? He doesn't need that arm, he'll use the other big fist. He's throwing hands here in Harlem.
And who's to say you'll get another opportunity if you're out with an injury? This was the opportunity presented to Ghost Shadow. You have to take it. But what a challenge he finds in front of him. What a mountain he has to climb.
Former collegiate offensive lineman and firefighter and current Catalyst champion. Shades of Big Ray Trailer. As O'Shea Edwards now in control in this championship matchup.
Edwards just dragging Ghost Shadow. Manhandling. Ghost Shadow has been so dominant for so long.
It's so strange to see him in this position.
Exactly.
Do you look like this when you're scrolling your social media feed? Looking for something to engage you, entice you, and possibly be violent? Well, we have a solution. Follow Catalyst Wrestling on Instagram. Great photos, great highlights, and ways to find out how you can join us live in New York City. Join Catalyst Wrestling, make your feed more fun, and at least 50% more violent.
If you want rebellion, if you want violence, if you want action, if you want wrestling, this is the DVD you need. Buy the uncensored, unfiltered, unhinged event that will make you feel something you haven't felt in a long time. The only show to step into the world of comedy. The show that brought Homicide back to Brooklyn. This is New York City. This is Skankfest. This is Catalyst Wrestling. Skankfest 2019, available July 7th on DVD.
Now, because this might be an unfamiliar position for him, how do you think somebody like Ghost Shadow will react?
I mean, we've seen the wells that Ghost Shadow can dive into. We know that he can go the distance. He's held on for the championship as long as he had for good reason. And this is one of those reasons. Off the top, takes down O'Shea Edwards.
And powered out. And Ghost Shadow staying on him. He'll also go to any lengths to be victorious. Ghost Shadow will go to any lengths to do so. But O'Shea Edwards had fought so hard to get this championship, to get out of the shadow of the Carter Group, and did. It's going to be a hard fight.
Oh, what a shot.
Shook the big man for a second.
And that's what you got to do. You got to use your speed to get around the big man.
And using those long limbs to create separation, because if he closes the gap,
like
that's what you'll see. Big German suplex felt all the way in Berlin.
Rolls to his feet, O'Shea Edwards, slowly, methodically, standing tall over Ghost Shadow.
Strapping in that submission.
Variation of the camel clutch, elevated position, targeting more of the upper back and shoulders than the middle back.
Look at the massive Massive forearms of O'Shea Edwards, and right back to the back again.
Do you look like this when you're scrolling your social media feed? Looking for something to engage you, entice you, and possibly be violent? Well, we have a solution. Follow Catalyst Wrestling on Instagram. Great photos, great highlights, and ways to find out how you can join us live in New York City. Join Catalyst Wrestling, make your feed more fun, and at least 50% more violent.
Slow getting up to her feet, but giving everything she has.
Getting back fist and then big kick. And another. It's lights out for Von Starr. She might need to end up back in that body bag. 1, 2.
A second too long to make that cover. Every second counts. Masha can smell the gold. And honestly, if O'Shea Edwards pulled any harder, I believe that he can pull Go Shadow's head right off his neck. What a wonderful legacy we have here at Catalyst Wrestling. The Big Bad Kaiju, trained by Robert Gibson, former NWA Tag Team Champion, part of the Rock and Roll Express. Of course, we've seen the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship defended earlier today. Now we have the Catalyst Champion, carrying on a tradition of gold.
Now a tradition of aggression by O'Shea Edwards. Tossed again, has him up in a big bear hug. Now after working over the back now, going right back to it, trying to suck the life out of him, trying to take the breath out of him, because Go Shadow's at his best when he's on the move, when he's able to explode and close the gap quickly in order to go on to the next thing, to chain into the next thing. Very technical, very cerebral, needs that boost of speed, but if O'Shea Edwards is able to suck out the air from him, that's going to be a lot more difficult as this match goes on.
Personally, I'm a little surprised at the lack of attention on the shoulder, on the arm of Go Shadow, but now with a second weakened state, a second part of the body that is just not at its optimal positioning where it needs to be. I do fear for Go Shadow's ability to launch the assaults that he normally attacks.
I fear for his ribs. Oh, can he break the mighty hold of O'Shea? He does.
Look at that. Spine on the pie.
Spine buster.
I think the ring moved with that one. Honestly, if that was the end of the match, I completely understand.
And look at the impressed face, almost shocked. That Go Shadow was able to kick out of him. He's like, okay, all right, maybe he was toying with him. Maybe he's telling himself he was toying with Go Shadow.
These are two fan favorites, although both men have found themselves receiving the ire of the crowd as well. But it does seem like today the Catalyst faithful in attendance are... Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say they were behind Go Shadow, but there's definitely some O'Shea Edwards fans in attendance as well.
It shows how much both of these men have become beloved while hated, as we said, flying head scissors from the top. They've become beloved despite being hated at first because of their championship pedigree, because of the blood, sweat, and tears they've laid out in this Catalyst ring. As he went for it again, got caught by the big man. O'Shea's got him. Oh, this is not good. Oh, laid out one,
That could be it.
It might have taken that last gasp just to get out of that. Oh, 3-point stance. Oh, the big spear.
That has to be it. It's all over.
You can count to it.
Your winner and still Catalyst Wrestling Champion, the Big Bad Kaiju, O'Shea Edwards.
O'Shea Edwards retains his championship in an instant classic between him and Ghost Shadow. Ghost Shadow, nothing to be worried about here, as he might have come up short against the measuring stick here in Catalyst Wrestling.
Two very dominant forces, but only one of them can carry this gold. O'Shea Edwards is showing that he is the one true king of the mountain in Catalyst Wrestling.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and right now the crown firmly sits on O'Shea's head.
Forever shall he reign.
Physically, you know I'm the catch. I am the dominant, the physical, moving individuals, showing that the damage I put you in is critical.
And a show of respect back. Champion to champion. Ghost Shadow frustrated that he missed out on the opportunity, but you heard O'Shea Edwards. Someday we're going to have to run it back. I don't think this is the last that we've seen of these two in championship positions vying for coveted prizes. Tonight it was O'Shea's night, but Ghost Shadow is always on the horizon.
Do you look like this when you're scrolling your social media feed? Looking for something to engage you, entice you, and possibly be violent? Well, we have a solution. Follow Catalyst Wrestling on Instagram. Great photos, great highlights, and ways to find out how you can join us live in New York City. Join Catalyst Wrestling, make your feed more fun, and at least 50% more violent.
Just so happened to be the power down button, as now, thanks for coming, thanks for writing, we'll see you next time.
But he's not part of the team. Everyone's going through doors. Steve, you want a shot?
I'm up here.
As he is not in the match. You're fine, Lucky. It's in the match.
Catalyst Wrestling, I'm here with the Catalyst Wrestling Champion, the Big Bad Kaiju, O'Shea Edwards. Now tonight, you had another successful Catalyst Wrestling Championship title defense, and you did so against one Ghost Shadow, who is one of the longest reigning champions in company history, as he was just formerly the Freestyle Champion. No easy accomplishment, might I add. So with all this, we have to ask, what is next for O'Shea Edwards?
First of all, big props to Ghost Shadow. Coming back from a broken elbow, most people would quit, let alone come back. And on top of that, he comes back in his first match is against me. And while he be the most winningest competitor here in Catalyst Wrestling, I'm the champion for a reason. And while he may only have one L, when you step against me, that's all you're gonna get from me, is L after L and after L. When it comes to what's next, well, it seems like everybody's got something to say about me. I got a lot of unfinished business with a lot of people. Homicide being one, Darius Carter being the other, and I even got Akira, who decided he wanted to stay in Japan. By the way, homie, stay out there as long as you can, because when you come back, I'm waiting for your ass. But besides all that, I don't care where they come from. Mexico, England, Japan, Great Britain, Canada, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Sudan. I don't care. At the end of the day, everybody falls 1, 2, 3. So who's next? What's next? Well, that depends on y'all.
Catalyst Wrestling, your Catalyst Champion, the Big Bad Kaiju, O'Shea Edwards.
Cut. Follow Catalyst Wrestling on Instagram. Great photos, great highlights, and ways to find out how you can join us live in New York City. Join Catalyst Wrestling, make your feed more fun, and at least 50% more violent.
New Catalyst Wrestling Television Champion.
the title. As we saw a big knee on Ray Jazz, spinning corkscrew attempted again, but nailed by Benjamin this time. 1, 2.
New Catalyst Wrestling Television Champion, the Savage Gentleman, Victor Benjamin.
Dave Lee here for Catalyst Wrestling, and I'm standing here with the brand new television champion, Victor Benjamin. Now, this is your second title here at Catalyst.
And does he watch Sesame Street, right, so he can count?
1, 2.
Right. Look how surprised I am we won it. You put the most gifted athlete on the planet in the ring against whoever those guys were. And I got a problem too, all right? We go from Brooklyn to Harlem. Great. That's like a fat friend introducing us to her fat friend. Thanks a lot. This is the 4-time King of the Dot champ. You understand what I'm saying? And we are here once again to win and go sightsee.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
I'm the greatest. I knew I was the greatest, even before y'all knew it. But what did I say? We called the shot. This was ours. Last round, we beat 2. This round, we beat 2. And a manager got some for running his mouth.
Yeah, deservedly so.
Deservedly so. Keep your hand down or you'll get some too. So, what are we going to do now?
I think we have some, not too many attractive sites, but here in this cesspool of Harlem, we might find a couple spots we can look at and maybe showcase this right here.
Now that's real savage.
I personally just want to take a second from Catalyst Wrestling to say thank you to all.
Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Carter Mason, the freestyle champion, going back at Ghost Shadow. The man who injured him at Because the Internet. Oh, Ghost Shadow's been waiting for this, licking his lips. And now dragging him to the back.